All right, we're live. Welcome into another episode of the Irish Football Pod. 2 days out, man.
Yeah, here we are, getting to the nitty gritty.
Excitement, anxiousness, it's all starting to ramp up just a little bit here, huh?
Yeah, the vibes are really starting to ramp up here, and that nervous butterfly feeling starting to creep up, and that's how you know it's real, and that's how you know you're ready when you start to get those feelings. So
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what the team's going through. Luckily, they've got 2 days of practice today and tomorrow to kind of settle into Atlanta. You know, granted, we have played there this year, which is great. You brought up that point earlier this week. So the team is accustomed to being there. They're accustomed to the stadium. Of course, we don't know which locker room that they're in, but maybe they're in the same one that they were against Georgia Tech. So a lot of the same routine and stuff could be helping us settle into the weekend a little bit, I think.
yeah, that's you could point to that being a big factor in this game, the familiarity that we do have in that stadium, and winning a game there. Just that's really what this team wants. It's just a big advantage going into the game, in my opinion. In my opinion, at least, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah, and time will tell Monday night. But yeah, today we really just wanted to take a look at a couple keys to the game. We've each got a couple, so we'll run through those, and then we got a couple players, key players of the game that
Hmm.
us want to talk about as well. So I'll kind of open it up for us. I think the first one is similar to what you have, but my first key to the game for us, stop the run.
Hmm.
Similar to what we did against Georgia, we held them to I think 62 or 65 rushing yards.
Hmm.
We have to stop the run. We cannot allow any big runs, but if we keep everything in front of us in terms of the run game, that's going to help us so much just in terms of how explosive Ohio State's offense is.
Yep,
It starts up front, and I think one of your keys is the trenches.
that's my number one key. Uh, win the trenches battle on both sides of the ball. You gotta pressure um, Will Howard like you did Gunnar Stockton. You know, ESPN showed the stat that we were 40 pounds undersized, but speed won that game. Speed won that game. So if we can bring that same pressure and force Will to, be confused by different looks and getting different pressures to him, that's gonna be in Notre Dame's favor going long in distance into the game, I think.
I would agree with that. Essentially, this is big boy football. It's Notre Dame and Ohio State. No matter which way you look at it, skill position players or not, the game of this caliber is always won in the trenches. So we stop the run, control the line of scrimmage. We're going to be off to a really good start in this game. So
Mhm.
I think both of those keys for us, they kind of align really well. Uh, Second one for me, and I've been saying it throughout the year, but more so in the playoffs here, we need some type of offensive consistency.
Mhm.
Against
Yep.
Penn State, we got down early. We ran 3 plays, I think, offensively in the first quarter.
Yeah.
First series, we 3 and out. We didn't get the ball back. We have to establish some sort of offensive consistency. I think at the forefront of the game,
Yep. Right off the rip, you got to do it.
right off the rip, you got to sustain some type of drives. It just felt like in the Penn State game, the defense was just going right back on the field as soon as they got off. Whether it was
Mhm.
a 3 and out or quick turnover that we had, we got to help out our defense a little bit more in this game, just to kind of alleviate some of that pressure that's on them.
Well, the longer our offense is on the field, the less time Ohio State has to score the football. Right. That's the game right there in itself. And Notre Dame can prove that. That's what they did against Penn State. We saw in that second half, we started out running the ball. Jeremiah Love had 2 or 3 touches back to back, and he think he got a couple first downs there, but a couple good runs to uh, really get that momentum on our side. So we need to do that early, though, in this game specifically.
Yeah. And honestly, man, the the offensive consistency could come from Ohio State gives up passes. Like their completion percentage average is like 52%, I believe. So they give up completions. They
They were
do.
also 1 for 10 on third downs against Michigan.
Yeah.
1 for 10. So with a stout defense like ours, if we can get off the field on third down and get possession back, huge,
That's
huge.
why the more and more that I play out this game, it's hard to kind of tell where it goes. But and we'll get to the prediction show tomorrow. We'll put out a prediction video tomorrow. But
Mhm.
I just see this being a close game. I don't see us blowing the doors off them. If we do, great. But I see this being a close game. So if you stop the run, have some type of offensive consistency, that's going to lead into my third key of the game, which is clean football. We had a
Mhm.
couple turnovers against Penn State. The second pick obviously was critical. Penn State had just tied the game. Riley comes out, first play. I like the play call. We're throwing the ball. We're being aggressive. He wishes he could have that one back. It just was a bad read. The defensive end slipped into coverage. He didn't see him. Threw a pick, and they scored right away. So we have to play clean as well offensively.
Yep, 100%. You have to limit those mistakes. You have to, especially in this game. It's the national championship. You can't afford. Well, that's the thing too. We proved in that Penn State game that even giving up horrible turnover and then giving up points, still battled through. Still battled through it. Just kept fighting, kept pushing, ultimately leading to a pick on our side, which set up us a field goal to win the game. So this
Yeah,
team just it doesn't give up. That's another key point that I wrote down. This team does not give up. It fights till the very last second, and that's what we're gonna do Monday night, win or loss.
yeah. That's one thing that is going to happen. We're going to stick through it. We're playing 60 minutes of football, whether we're up 21, down 21. Every single snap, it's one play, one life. That's the motto of this team. That's what it is.
And dude, football is football. At the end of the day, the narrative right now is, Ohio State winning by big margins. But how does anybody know that we could go into the half with a lead, 3-point lead, 7-point lead? We could be up 10-0. Like it's
Yeah.
football. Anything can happen. We could make some big plays early in the half and really be on them. So
I truly think the more the longer that this game stays close, the more pressure ramps up for Ohio State. They're the
mhm,
ones coming in as a heavy favorite. They're the ones that are expected to win. They're the ones that are expected to basically have the trophy in the case already. That's pressure. Whether you think it is or not, the team feels it. It's pressure on them. The tighter the game is into the later stages of the game, the more that plays into ND's advantage, in my opinion. We are comfortable in that situation.
yeah,
We relish being in close games. We've done it. We've been in it this year
yep,
numerous times. So for me, the advantage is with us. The tighter the game is, and the longer it goes.
yep. I agree. I agree. So we can transition into our key players, I guess. Who do you think's gonna be the star of the show on both sides of the ball?
I mean, I'm going to start out with a guy that from game 1 to game 15, the guy has just made the play, and that for me, that's Christian Gray.
Yeah.
In the A&M game, 4th and 2, Connor Wegman threw a slant. Who broke it up? Christian Gray. Coming down to this later half of the season, he's getting burnt all day long at USC. They're driving down 7 with a chance to win the game. Who makes it pick six, 98 yards, 100 yards? Christian Gray.
Yep.
Penn State's trying to drive for a field goal to maybe steal it with a field goal, win the game in the Orange Bowl. Who comes up with a pick? Christian Gray. For some reason, that kid just steps up and makes the plays at the biggest moments, right? True sophomore. For some reason, I think he's going to have arguably the biggest play of the season for him, even though he's had all these big plays. He's going to have, in my opinion, some type of play like that is a game changing play in this
Yeah.
football
Yep. I firmly agree with that. He's gonna make one of those plays, if not multiple, in this game.
game. And who's going to be on him? Who's going to be on Jeremiah Smith? I think they're going to rotate a little bit, but are they going to have Christian on him or are they going to have Leonard on him? I think it really just depends. I don't know if they'll, match one of them up across the field. So it might be a little combination of both at
Yeah.
certain times. But man, that matchup in itself is just super intriguing. But I just think he's gonna make some type of a play late or middle of the game when we need some type of momentum swing. He's gonna make a play.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm honestly confident in, all the secondary being able to, lock them down. They're gonna make plays, it's just they're that good, they're that talented, they're gonna make plays, but again, it comes back to the trenches. If we can force some pressure and get the pressure that we did against Georgia and then to Penn State in that second half, we can beat anybody if we can win those trench battles. So
Yeah. Who do you have on the defensive side of the ball? Who's your key player?
might be a little surprising, but I'm going Junior Tua Alamaka. I think he's going to really be able to get on the edge, and he's going to be able to get to the quarterback as well. When they do those outside zone runs, we're going to be able to stop him on the outside too. I think he's going to have a big game, really like the Georgia game. He was just in the right spot. He was
Dude,
flying
he
around.
was everywhere.
Yeah, I see Junior just really solidifying that the run game, and he can get to the QB too. So
He
that's
goes
my defensive player. Yeah, the boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he brings the juice, man. He's a junior, right? I think he's a
He is
junior.
a junior. Yeah,
He just brings the energy, dude. He's the one that recovered the Oban strip
yeah.
in Georgia.
The team's kind of rally. That defense rallies around him when he's playing like that. It just the defense kind of feeds off him.
They
But
do.
there's multiple players, man. It's like Jalen Sneed, Drake Bowen, Osbury. Um, Osbury too. He kind of had a bad game against Penn State, so he's going to want to come in with some
Adon,
vengeance. Game.
Adon had a little bit of a rough game as well against Penn State.
Yep, he did.
I think it's just the timing of everything. We had 7 days rest, basically 6. I think
Tired defensive
yeah,
legs.
I do think they're going to come out a little sharper. They're going to come out with a little bit more of a
More
bang,
juice. More
a bang
juice.
and a hit to them
Yeah.
to start the game. I think they will. So now those are all good key players defensively. For me, offensively, my key player is Riley.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's who you've got. We didn't talk about it before the show, but to me, it's Riley. At this point, maybe throughout the season, of course, he likes to run. Maybe he held back a little bit in some scenarios, but with this type of game, I could see him rushing for over 100.
Yeah.
Like that, he rattles off a couple 20-yard gains. He could end the game with 100. I
Mhm.
just think he's been that type of guy. Goolsby said it a lot. He just doesn't seem like he's gonna let the team lose. Like
No.
he's just gonna get the job done, whether that's making a throw or rolling out and scrambling, hurdling a safety for a first down. It just seems like he's got the team on his back. He's ready to carry it and make the
Got the
plays.
got the will to win right now. And it's another big key point to this game is the mentality of both teams. Both teams feel like they are the best, but which team has that stronger culture? And I think that's the perfect title for this video is culture versus talent because that's the narrative right now. So, man, um, this is going to be another surprising pick, and it may come to a shock to even you, but I'm going to go with actually not one person. I'm going with the entire wide receiver core. Okay, and I'll tell you why.
I like it.
Because you look at what we've done in the regular season, and it's not the best passing game. Any Notre Dame fan will tell you that. But what it has done in the playoffs has shown consistency. You've seen Riley step up into the pocket and make some big, big throws, man. Um, he's really feeling the pocket presence. His pocket presence has really ascended in the playoffs, and he's making big time throws. You can look back to the Indiana game, the throw that Jordan Faison steps up, does a little shoulder shrug, and just throws a 45-yard
Oh,
dot just right on the money. I mean, the throw to Greathouse, the throw to Chris Mitchell, those back curl routes, and then Faison. He didn't have the biggest game in the against Penn State, but I think Faison within the wide receiver group will be the key player. He's gonna, dude. He just won a lacrosse championship 9 months ago, and now he's playing for a natty, and he's a baller. He's gonna he's gonna ball out.
he's
So
ready. He's ready.
key
He's ready to
player
make
really is
plays.
Faison, but I think the wide receiver room as a whole, Bo Collins, Jane Thomas, Chris Mitchell, Faison, Greathouse, those are guys that can make plays.
Jaden Harrison.
Harrison, yeah, dude. So that's my key for the offense player, but I really think the whole wide receiver core is gonna step up for us.
And I like that answer because Ohio State gives up catches, dude. Like their front four is super stout, so we're gonna have to establish some sort of run game. But if there's any type of weakness in their defense, it is the secondary and the linebackers covering. Like Sonny Styles, he gives up. I want to say it's like in the playoffs, he's given up like 80%. Like when he's targeted, the receiver or the running back is catching the ball or the tight
Mhm.
end. They're catching the ball on him. So
Yeah,
there is room and there's throwing lanes. If Riley's got, but it all comes back to the line. If Riley's got the line and just that extra second,
yep. The trenches, man. It all comes back to the trenches.
it all
But
comes back to that.
who did we not even mention yet? The tight ends. We didn't even mention the tight ends. We still got Mitchell Evans, Eli Raridan, Kevin Ballman. They got to worry about those guys too.
Yeah, and you never know. Like Mitchell Evans has really come on late. Like he's had some good last against Penn State. I think he had 5 or 6 catches. Like
Yeah,
we were going at him.
yeah, he
So
did.
I just think that Ohio State has a lot to worry about us too. We both have really good offenses. We might not be as high powered as them. I think that's anybody would agree with that. But they've still got a lot to worry about with us too. We got 4-headed monster of runners.
We
When
haven't
Riley
even
does
mentioned the
have some
running backs
time,
for us yet.
he can make throws.
Yes, he's proven that he can make throws in the playoffs specifically.
Right.
But the play calling too. I mean, that Jaden Greathouse play call, it was perfect, and we've seen that play multiple times. I look,
Slot fade.
yeah, you bring that outside wide receiver in motion, and it just opens up that side of the field. You make one play, it's one-on-one coverage. Well, then you got to
I
go out
think
and be the safety. And
I think even the third down play, not the touchdown to Great House, but the third down, I think that was like the contested catch to Great House. I think that was a slot fade as well
yes,
against Penn State.
yes, yep. They brought
He
a
kind of
blitz. It was one-on-one coverage, and he trusted him, man. You got to let it rip.
but so there's like a couple players that he trusts. Faison, number one, Great House, and Mitch Evans. I think those three guys, he knows like, okay, I can take my drop and I can just let it go. I can let it fly to him.
With a fully healthy Bo Collins too, he'll throw it up to Big Bo.
Right. Yep.
But
Yeah.
man,
I mean, just to kind of recap, couple keys of the game: stop the run, offensive consistency, play a clean football game, and then one play, one life. Just this team's not going to quit. And then the key players for me: Christian Gray, Riley Leonard. For you, Junior Tuialamaka, and then the wide receiver room as a group.
mm-hmm.
I think we're hitting the nail on the head there in terms of what this game would look like if Notre Dame does have success. At this point, you know what team you have. At this point, you know what opponent you're facing. Each of them have played 15, 16 games. We kind of know what we're going to get.
Yep. Yep, we do and we don't. And that's what the great game of football is.
Yep. Yep.
But we're
Well,
hyped up. We're hyped up. We can't be more ready for this game. I know this team's locked in. The mentality I think is really going to be the big factor in the game. Who's got the stronger will to win?
yeah, I think it's truly going to show itself. Trenches, just overcoming adversity. Both teams are going to have adversity in this game. It's
Mhm.
whoever handles it better, and that's kind of what you said: culture versus talent. Like we might not have a $20 million roster, but I'll put our culture and our locker room up against anybody. And when
Anybody. Yep.
you got that, you know, like this is going to be a war. It'll be a battle, no matter what.
It's going to be a great game. Looking really forward to it. Just 2 days, man. 2 days.
2 days, dude. Well, I know that we have the keys to the game today, key players. Tomorrow we'll do a prediction show and kind of get into like the nitty gritty of potential score, who we think is going to win, things like that. But
Yep.
overall, hope this brought a little value to the ND Irish fans. And like, comment, subscribe. We love it. We just started this channel, just getting it going, but we're just two passionate fans from South Bend that literally live and die by Notre Dame football. So we are in the best time of our lives right now.
Loving every minute of it, man. Go Irish. Onward to victory.
Go Irish.